My name is Lucio Ribeiro. I'm currently lecturer of artificial intelligence at MIT, digital marketing at MIT, marketing sites at Deakin. I'm also a digital marketing consultant with a few clients, and I'm a public speaker. So my background is I'm a marketing entrepreneur. I built 3 different companies. My last one was a digital marketing consultancy with 50 people, $10 million, which I sold. And my long-term background is advertising. I was a lawyer back in Brazil, Laura, and then I ended up just getting a job in advertising industry as a lawyer. But I just thought that I worked a little bit as a lawyer, as a junior lawyer, and I really never really clicked. But once I got into the advertising world, I just love it. The creativity, the human element, people talking, and the energy. I just love it. I just love the environment, and I love the fact that we could transform. We could sell ideas. We could just commercialize. That was the trade. The trade was to sell ideas. So I ended up getting a couple of mentors internally in the agency. I was working in Brazil and ask them, how do I get to where you are? Like, what do I need to do now to get where you are? And back at the time, they would be very nice, give me lots of advice and give me some pointers what to do. And then I fell in love. And then I became an advertiser. And then I worked there for many years in Brazil. Then I moved to Australia 15 years ago. I moved to Australia. And here I did a couple of corporate jobs. But the jobs I really wanted, I could not get it. So I started my own company out of necessity, much more than love. Pretty much I could not get the job, so I may well create my own job. That's what I started. And what I realized was I had the ideas, but I didn't have the entrepreneur energy, but my business partner had it. My business partner was very entrepreneur, and he was very upfront in trying new things and setting up and really working out mentally the fear with me. That was really good. So, and then from there, I pretty much grew more comfortable trying new things. It was for me was a matter of growing to there, born with the energy of entrepreneur. I think I grew into one. And then from there, it led me to a series of new companies. I came up with the first and the second and the third, had a couple of failures in between, and had success at the same time. So probably the best, I received a ton of really good ones. I always been very proactive in looking for mentors for myself. So I realized coming from a Latin country and being a Brazilian guy where we had a quite male dominant culture, for example, my agency I always had more females than males, and I realized that I probably had bias that I wasn't aware of. So I went after mentors who could actually help me to understand, female mentors that could help me to understand my hidden bias and things, how to be a better manager, a better director, a better leader for my workforce. So I received really good advice most of the time. I also received bad advice. I think the worst advice is receiving advice from people who have no skin in the game. And advice is cheap, to be honest. Everybody has an opinion, but I feel few people would be with you along the way. Everyone wants to be. We got nowadays I think the worst advice is listen to everybody. That's the worst advice. Go around and ask everybody. Everybody has something to collaborate. That's not true. Everybody has an opinion, and nowadays we confuse opinion with facts, and that's a very dangerous place to go. So that's been the worst. Probably the best one was to reach out to people you admire, people who have something to collaborate to you. Reach out to them very humbly and ask them, what is that 1% or the 2% that you keep you awake at night, and I can solve that for you. And then you can go and do one. So I received that advice from a VC friend of mine. He said, look, if you're something that keeps you awake at night, then I can be at service for you. And I found that kind of approach where we are something really helpful. That produces fruits, and that's much more useful. Probably there to calm down, to do things, to protect my mind, to protect my spirit, to protect my body as much as I'm trying to protect my pocket. To understand that you don't need necessarily balance across these things, but you need harmony. You need to understand it's okay. You might have 24 hours, you might dedicate 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours to work, and that might be your priority. It's fine. But you also need to have harmony with all the other elements. So to be calm down and build harmony, and don't forget to look after your primarily when a career focus, whether it's an entrepreneur or you are working in a business, you need to have your mind and spirit. You need to have communities. That'll be the second thing probably I wish I knew. Build a communities inside and outside work. Communities are the stepstone, the baseline for to fight against loneliness, which is as you go up on a career, as you go up and up, you understand that it can become quite lonely. And the antidote for loneliness is community. So I would do this. I would do these three things, Laura. I would calm down. I would build harmony across all the elements of my spirit, my mind, my body, and I would build communities. They'll be doing these three things. To become cocky too early. I've been fortunate, or maybe not fortunate, to be given a very senior position way too young. And I think there are two types of people in the world: those who think they know everything, and those who are open to learn everything. And I was the first. I was those who think I knew everything. I was 28. I was very successful. I was very senior, and I thought I was invincible. I thought I knew it all. So that blocked me to learn, to be exposed to new situations. I mean, it's easy for us just to say things like, "Oh, I'm very proud of everything I've done because they led me to here," and that might be a truth, but it's also an error. You know, our past should be using. We should be using our past as memory. We should be using our past as guide, as a mentor, as a wise voice for us in the future. So I think it's that crucial question. You need to make a decision. Do you know everything, or do you want to learn everything? And that's you're gonna be surprised how many people sit into the I know everything camp. I think it has been three things: curiosity, insatiable curiosity. I got at least 3 or 4 micro degrees every year. I travel. I'm curious about people. I'm curious about topics. I go from studying scriptures, religious scriptures, to studying artificial intelligence and things. I'm just purely, I have a huge curiosity. The second thing is network. Keeping a good networking, helping people. I learned with another, this is not probably the best advice, but it's a good advice there. You need to make sure you smile your way up, because these are the same people you're going to meet on their way down. And I built good networks, and I nurture these networks, and I help my networks, and I try to help them constantly. And third is probably my resilience. I do have a lot of resilience. I think that in a work environment where it's, again, you're working for someone, you're working with someone, or you're working for yourself, you need to find a type of resilience and where you take your strength from. You know, you fall 100 times and that's 100 lessons there. Then you will fall 100 times. But it's career or entrepreneurship, you will fall 100 times. It will happen to you. So there'll be these three things. There'll be curiosity, network, and resilience.